a bottle that we've been holding on to
Yes.
for our dear lives since 2020 because the whiskey is really difficult to get hold of,
And it's no longer available in India.
unfortunately. Today we are going to review a special, no, in fact a very special whiskey from a very special distillery. A distillery that ticks all the right boxes without even trying.
That is true. We're talking about Springbank, a distillery that has stood the test of time, undeterred, unflinched, and stayed original.
Hi everyone, Swati and Vinayak from the Dram Club, and in this video we are going to review a whiskey that has become very difficult to get hold of, the Springbank 10-year-old. The Springbank 10 comes from the Springbank Distillery, a 3-in-1 distillery. And here's a trivia question for you. Other than Springbank, which are the 2 other whiskies made at the same Springbank Distillery? Let us know in the comments.
So with that introduction and the quiz question, let's get started with the tasting of the Springbank 10.
Yes, a bottle that we've been holding on to
Yes.
for our dear lives since 2020 because the whiskey is really difficult to get hold of,
And it's no longer available in India.
unfortunately.
Springbank 10 is lightly peated, bottled at an ABV of 46%. It's non-chill filtered and 60% bourbon and 40% sherry.
Has been matured in ex-sherry barrels.
Yes.
So the Springbank Distillery was set up in 1828, making it the 14th licensed distillery on Campbeltown.
So Vinayak, should we get started with the tasting?
Yes, of course, I'm having a Springbank 10 after ages.
Same here.
What are you expecting from the whiskey? Any expectations? Or any memories from when you last tried the Springbank 10?
I think I'm expecting subtle smoke because I know it's lightly peated.
Right.
Some fruity notes
Okay.
because it's sherry cask, and some vanilla because
Okay.
it's 60% bourbon cask.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm having Springbank 10 myself also after a very long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the color is golden.
Yeah, dark.
Yeah, dark golden. Slightly vintage golden that you can say.
Old gold.
Old is gold. The
Interesting.
smoke definitely is quite distinct.
It's a very different smoke compared to what you get on Isla.
Yeah. But I am getting those slight candied fruit notes, honey.
You're getting a bit of salt in this one?
I'm not getting salt. So I'm definitely getting that subtle smoke.
Yeah.
For me, it's more of honey and vanilla.
Yeah,
but I'm
honey and vanilla there.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, I think, a bit of melon as well. I'm getting a lot of those tropical fruit notes on this one.
But the peat is like the smoky notes are very different from what you get on an Isla whiskey.
Of course, yeah. I think that's why they started Longrow. Because one of the reasons why Springbank started making Longrow was because they wanted to make an Isla style of whiskey on Campbeltown.
Okay, and compete with Isla whiskies because Isla whiskies were a lot in demand.
Yes. Let's have a sip.
Yes.
Oh, tropical
Wow.
fruit notes are a lot more pronounced on the
Yeah.
palate.
Also, there's waxiness on the palate. Like there's a little bit of oiliness that I'm getting. You know what's interesting? For a 10-year-old, it is a 46% ABV. Like not a lot of 10, 12-year-olds tend to be 46. Mostly they are either 40 or 43
Okay.
because they are, you know, the
Such
starting.
as?
So for example, some of the popular brands like Glenfiddich, Glenlivet,
The entry.
at the entry level usually tend to be between 40 to 43%. This is like 46% ABV.
But see, that's what makes Springbank so
Yes.
different, right? What makes Springbank special is like they're unlike any other distillery in Scotland.
Okay.
They have their own floor malting, so a very self-sufficient distillery,
Right.
which is, I mean, no other distillery in Scotland has its own floor maltings that cater to all its production.
Right. That's true. That's true. Like some distilleries still have maltings, but they get malted barley from outside. As
Yeah,
well
because the demand has
is so high.
grown so. And while we are on the demand and the production capability, Springbank has a maximum capacity of 750,000 liters.
Okay.
But in a year, it barely uses 15 to 20% of its production capacity.
Okay. So they are just trying to control the
Quality
supply,
and
quality.
more than the
everything.
supply, I would say they're trying to control the quality and what they send out.
Understood. Understood.
So I'm pretty sure, I mean, from 15 to 20%, they can go all the way up to 40%, but
Yeah.
still control the
Yeah.
quality.
Yeah.
But what are you getting on the palate, Swati?
So I'm getting some melon, like some fruit.
Tropical fruits,
yes,
right? Yeah.
Yes, I'm getting some of that fruit. Spices.
Yeah.
I would
Just
say
a lot of cinnamon.
Yeah, a lot of cinnamon. I think there's a little bit of black pepper that I'm getting.
But also I'm getting a lot of notes of malted barley. Bit of like, when you at a 5-star hotel in the morning
Okay.
breakfast, they give you that muesli.
Okay.
So it reminds me of that
Understood.
muesli that they
Right,
serve.
right.
And
I'm also getting a little bit of this lime.
citrus zest.
Yeah, citrus zest kind of notes on this.
But cinnamon definitely.
Yeah.
I think we're getting a bit of toffee as well on this one. Wow.
You know, I would like to have this whiskey with like a key lime pie.
What pie?
Key lime pie.
What is that?
So it's made with kiwi. Key lime is a kind of lime.
Okay.
So it's made with key lime and kiwi.
Okay.
It's like a tart,
Okay.
and it has cream and some like shavings of the lime on top.
I see.
I just feel like having that with
Actually,
this.
now that you said, I think something with kiwi
Huh.
will sort of go well with the whiskey.
Yes. So I just instantly feel like that would make for a really good
Interesting.
pairing.
Shall we add some water and see how the nose opens up?
Also, I think the smokiness is not intense, but it's like very long and lingering, very subtle, but
Yeah.
it lingers on for a while, creating that warming sensation with a little bit of spicy, sweet notes.
Okay.
I
There
think
is. This whiskey scores very high on complexity for sure. I've added water.
And it's entirely different. I think the sweeter notes have definitely opened up a lot. I'm getting a lot more of those tropical fruits that I
Yeah.
wasn't getting earlier
Yeah.
on the nose.
Bit of mangoes, bananas. Wow. Honey again has become a bit more prominent now.
I think the spiciness has mellowed down slightly. After adding water, I think it's become an even more complex but again, a well-balanced whiskey.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think you can question the
Yeah.
balance on this one. While there is, let's say you get a smoke, but immediately the smoke is followed by a slightly sweeter or a spicier
Right,
note.
right.
There is that hint of salt that you get on it again. So I think all the flavors are very, very well balanced
That's
on this one,
That's
and probably that's why, other than the fact that the distillery has stood true to its roots, in spite of that, it's not a gimmick.
Yeah.
They are making exceptional whiskeys, and which is what we are experiencing right now.
And that's the reason why it's such a cult.
Yeah.
And that's the reason also why it's so difficult to find a bottle of the Springbank 10.
Yes.
What do you think of the finish on this one, Vinayak?
Long, spicy,
Okay.
bit of smoke,
Right.
and oak and some vanilla coming for me.
Okay. For me also, I think it's slightly woody. Oaky is what you can say. Hints of spice, that subtle smoke, and a very warming sensation that kind of stays on the
Yeah.
palate for a while.
Yeah.
So I think it's a fabulous whiskey, and for someone who's interested in exploring peated whiskies, has not had the chance, I think it's a good whiskey to
Yeah.
kind of get exposed to peated style of whiskies.
Yes. And it's for like about 40 to 50 pounds in UK. If you
Yeah.
can get hold of it,
Yes.
that's the biggest question.
Yeah, it's not the question of price, it's the question of availability.
Yeah. And with that, we come to the end of a review of this very special whiskey from a very, very special distillery, the only self-sufficient distillery in Scotland.
If you've tried the Springbank 10, let us know in the comments below what do you think about it. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel.